Harun, welcome. I'm Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Actor Saif Ali Khan has been stabbed 6 times at his residence late last night, sometime around 2:30 a.m. The actor sustained a major injury to his thoracic spinal cord due to a knife lodged in his spine. He also sustained 2 other deep wounds, one on his left hand and the other on his neck. As per latest reports, the actor is out of danger after treatment at Lilavati Hospital. However, NewsX has now accessed the very first video of the attacker. This footage was recorded at 2:33 a.m. The attacker can be seen fleeing the scene via a staircase in the building. Remember, the attacker entered the apartment in the Satguru Sharan building via the fire escape. He got into a scuffle with a household help, following which Saif intervened. However, he ended up being grievously injured. As you can see, the attacker fled mere moments later. He fled via the building staircase and clearly avoided using the lift. In the footage on your screens, he can be seen wearing a black t-shirt and carrying a backpack. He can also be seen wearing an orange scarf, looking towards the CCTV with his hands on the banisters. What's most shocking is that he does not seem to be in a rush. He's steady walking casually. Meanwhile, an FIR has been registered with charges of robbery and attempt to cause grievous hurt. But what was the motive of the crime? Well, that's the big question. These are, of course, the big details we are tracking for you on the broadcast, where, of course, Saif Ali Khan has been attacked. And Saif Ali Khan, of course, has now been grievously injured. He is in hospital. There was an emergency surgery performed on him this morning. He's out of danger, but he continues to be in the ICU. KV Dhananjay, senior advocate, is joining us live. KV Dhananjay, audacious attack in the heart of Mumbai on a high-profile actor. What do you make of this incident and the chain and sequence of events that we know so far?
Well, the specifics, I think, will have to wait for the investigation to be completed. So all our comments will largely be of a very general nature. And to start with, I think the police, a more professional tone on the part of the police would have been welcome. The police could have perhaps said that they're exploring all possibilities rather than come to prima facie conclusion that this case was one of burglary or whatever. That is because if the police openly say that they are exploring all possibilities, then they will keep an open mind and they will be able to explore multiple leads and thereafter come to a meaningful conclusion. But if the police start by saying that they suspect this might have been a case of burglary, then they are also closing out so many different avenues that would have otherwise been available for them to explore. Having said that, I think we now have to wait for the investigation to proceed. And in a case like this, it's important for the police to, at the beginning say that they don't yet know many things. It's not as if the police has to always pander to the curiosity of the public and then start making up and say that, oh, this might have been the case, this might not have been the case. It's important for the police to focus their energy on arresting the individual concerned. But having said that, I also want to say that you look at the last 6 months or 8 months, you see a general increase in crime across the country, and that should be worrisome. And that doesn't mean that grave unemployment is leading to all of this. That simply also means that we've seen this rise, in crimes over the last, 20, 25 years, and we also have to worry about how much of a deterrent effect our laws are having on, those who commit these crimes. Our incarceration, of course, is already very high. High rates of incarceration in the sense people being arrested and being held without bail is already very high. Our prisons are overcrowded. So the time is also now somewhat ripe for us all to worry about the general increase in crime rates in this country. And this, I think, is also very daring in many respects because the celebrities people are, they certainly would enjoy heightened security. And for an individual to get into a high-rise building for the purpose of committing burglary itself is somewhat unusual because any individual who would want to escape from a place would almost always choose a standalone building rather than, take so much of pain to get into a high-rise building to egress out of which it is really very difficult. So I think there are several apparent mysteries in this case, and those mysteries must wait for the police to complete their investigation. But the police, I think, will have to be more professional and say that they don't know. And it's all right for the police to say they don't know. And that's what professional police force would do. If you try to strike a parallel between what happened in this case and, some time ago when Nancy Pelosi, congressman, her husband, was in fact grievously injured in his house. by an intruder, the police went on to say that they don't know, for quite some time. And the public was, in fact, really very curious. They were, in fact, attacking the police and saying that the police should be saying out something or the other. But then the professional, individuals in the police force were coming out and saying that they don't want to draw any conclusion and they don't yet know. And it's only after some time they said that it was a hate crime. So I think it's important for the police to be more professional in a matter like this because some things don't seem to connect at all.
Yes. Let me quickly, in fact, also draw in some breaking developments coming in this hour. As per the Mumbai police, DCP, identity of the accused has been confirmed and his location has been traced. Police sources say the accused will be arrested soon. A team of 10 units has been established to arrest the accused. So big details coming in. The Mumbai police have closed in on the accused. His identity has been ascertained. His location has been traced. Daryl Miranda is joining us for more. Daryl, is the Mumbai police close to nabbing the main accused? Daryl Miranda, can you hear me? I think we're having some technical trouble with Daryl's connection, it seems. Daryl, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost Daryl. Let me get in Dhanraj Vanjari, former police officer. Dhanraj Vanjari, we are learning through our sources that location of the main accused now has been traced. The Mumbai police has formed 10 teams to track him down and arrest him as soon as possible. Obviously, they are getting close to the main accused now. Dhanraj Vanjari, can you hear me? Okay, I think we've lost him. KV Dhananjay, obviously the priority over here of the Mumbai police is to get the main accused as soon as possible and then ascertain the motive behind this incident. So far, of course, multiple statements, including of the house help, have been recorded, but the motive perhaps will become clearer when the main accused is nabbed.
Yes, and the one thing that they would do after they nab the main accused is to talk to him. But very often people lie. So I think it's some more time. Let's assume for a moment they're trying and arrest him tonight. That does not mean that we will have information by tomorrow. It's possible that the police will have to pursue other leads and find out if he was acting alone or acting in concert. And quite a lot of planning might be required, to get into a high rise and then to commit crimes like this. And how did this individual even know that who resided where? What was his intention? And so it's some time. I think, in all fairness, we also will have to give some more time to the police, because if the police senses extraordinary pressure, and this certainly is a case where, there's extraordinary pressure on the police to come out with answers. But I think the police should, in fact, resist the temptation to come to quick conclusions. They should carry on with their investigation, but that does not mean that they'll take 2 months to solve this. The public is going to lose patience over that. So sometime I think the police will need over this. And also, who complained to the police in the first place? Was it a member of the family that complained to the police, or how was it? You could also explore the other angle, which is if the police wanted this matter not to come out, and that's because in a place like this, you always expect CCTV cameras everywhere. So perhaps the police could have, if they probably had an option, maybe they would have made sure that this matter would not have become public. And they would have spent more time trying to arrest the suspect first before they said anything. So the questions also are, who first complained to the police, and how did this matter first become public? Was it that Saif Ali Khan's family came out and informed the media about what has happened? So I think those questions also deserve attention. How did this matter reach the public in the first place? This probably was a private, in many respects, I think these are kinds of cases where if the police had an opportunity, they would have said, okay, let this not be made public. We have so many leads to pursue. Let's just pursue all of those leads and then make things public. So that also matters.
Okay, let me also, in fact, quickly join now Puneet Vashisht, actor, who is joining us now live. Puneet Vashisht, shocking attack on a member of your fraternity late last night in Mumbai. What do you make of the manner in which this attack took place, and what would you demand from the Mumbai police and the Maharashtra administration?
No, as Mr. Dhananjay said, we have to really first nab the guy down, and the police needs to interrogate him and find out. And what I feel from the society perspective and the state perspective, this is a big security lapse. This guy is a very big star. He lives in Bombay. I think there is if you put my mind, if I might put my mind to some assumptions, it has to be someone who's connected to the house, who knows the way. If I try to be a detective for now, so it has to be someone who knows the house and knows the way and stuff like that. And he's come inside and actually made this attack. But it's good to hear. I've worked with Saif. He's a wonderful guy. He can't even harm an ant. He's that kind of a guy. So I don't know what's this all about. We can all make assumptions, but I'm happy that he's safe and he's sound and he's out of this. And but this really needs to be looked into very, very intensely. How can something like this happen?
There are some, who are drawing
Yeah.
parallels and saying that, safety of high-profile individuals is being compromised in this manner. Then it's not a very good sign. We saw recently also the attack on Salman Khan's house when there was firing done on his, on his house in Bandstand. Also, we saw the incident involving Baba Siddiqui in Mumbai as well. And now you have a burglary, or at least an attempted burglary, if that is the motive. The police has not confirmed it yet, in Saif Ali Khan's residence.
Yeah, this is scary, whatever's happening, this is a total security lapse, as I said earlier. And I don't know if it's some anti-Bollywood people trying to take Bollywood down. And now we can amplify this assumption into it is some people from the right wing who want to get the left wing, but that's all unnecessary. It's just assumptions, It's just sensationalizing. What we need to come to the point that this needs to be interrogated well. Baba Siddiqui had another thing, something going on. Salman Khan's got other things going on. This is Saif's case that we are talking about.
Okay.
So I think
it should be looked
this needs to
separately,
be
is what
looked
you're
into.
clearly saying.
Yeah, definitely. We cannot generalize.
Yeah, let me get in Dr. Sumit Sharma as well onto the broadcast, neurosurgeon. Dr. Sharma, as far as, of course, now this particular incident is concerned, regarding Saif Ali Khan and his recovery, how long could the recovery really take? Looking at the nature of injuries. Also, Dr. Sharma, as far as his statement is concerned, in how much time is he going to be medically cleared to give a statement to the police?
Look, for a spinal injury, for a thoracic spinal injury, he or he should be able to give a statement. I mean, not more than within a 24 hour to 48 hours period, max, not more than that. If it's a I mean, isolated thoracic spine injury, and other injuries are not as big as the spine injury, so the statement part. But how much time he will take in coming out of it, or he'll be cleared medically, fit to do all his things, or to, live his life like he was living. It all depends how much the cord has been transacted. There is it's a spectrum from 0 to 100. He might be running, he might be in his bed for a very, very long time. And in thoracic spinal injuries, there is a large percentage of patients, a big percentage of patients who never walk. So, I don't want to be so harsh in predictions just without knowing the extent of the injury. I hope that it doesn't happen. It should not happen. But only time will tell. And the primary team, they'll have to give us few more details. We need to know, as doctors and surgeons, we need to know more details about the nature of the injury and the type of procedure that has been performed, to comment upon the exact duration when he'll be walking. I'm more worried about the power of the legs and how he's been doing in his post-operative period.
Okay, let me also quickly go back across now to Dhanraj Vanjari on, of course. Now, do we have Dhanraj Vanjari back with us now? Okay, I don't think we have him just yet. Let's try and get back in KV Dhananjay. KV Dhananjay, as far as now this particular incident is concerned, also, do you believe perhaps there could be more than one individual? Is it hard to fathom that there was only one individual responsible for this break-in at at such a high-profile residence?
It's entirely possible. And once this particular individual seen in the CCTV camera, now we are making an assumption that the one seen in the CCTV camera is the one that was involved in this, grievous hurt. I mean, committing grievous hurt. And also coming back to the comment made by the neurosurgeon just now, the punishment under the law will also depend on the severity of the injury caused in the process here. So you were looking at anywhere between 10 years, and in extreme cases, it could be up to life imprisonment. No death, of course. There's no murder. I mean, there's no death here, fortunately. But there are other cases of burglaries and where things go wrong, and in the dead heat of the night, all kinds of things happen. So I think the people here should count their blessings. It was not, much worse. It could have been much worse if you just look at the statistics. Coming back to your question, yes, it's possible that this was a conspiracy hatched by more than one individual, and more than one individual was involved. Now, one of the dangers that we, in fact, come across when some image is released is there have been this small number of cases where it's the police zero in on a CCTV footage and then release it to the public, but it is not the individual that they were looking for. It is some other individual. These are places where so many individuals come go. So, I mean, sometimes facts are stranger than fiction. We've looked into case records. We've looked into cases where people have been convicted in the trial courts, and then the matter goes up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court conducts a very, very detailed and elaborate inquiry, and then there is startling information coming out in the judgment that says, well, this was a case of mistaken identity, someone else was nabbed, and all that. So that is why I'm still coming back to say that it would have been better if the images of the individual concerned were not known yet, and the police went about first, arresting him, and thereafter, of course, releasing the picture to the public. And after this man is arrested, I think as part of the investigation going forward, he will have to be identified by the people who, fought with him in the house. So that what you've seen now is physical injury, and
Also, what do you make of the brazenness, Puneet Vashisht, with which this individual is escaping? He's taking the staircase. I don't know why he wasn't stopped or apprehended, by the watchman or by the other security, below as well of the building. That again is a big security lapse. He's taking the staircase. He was carrying a backpack. He's not running or sprinting. He's walking pretty casually. He has his hands on on the banister. He's also not covering his face. Interestingly, he has a scarf on him, but he's not covering his face from the CCTV cameras, but rather looking at them.
Exactly. That's the picture I saw from the people who had sent me from your news house. It's amazing. He's just very, very open about it. He seems to be proud about it. And see, now we really need to hear what is Saif's statement. Maybe Saif knows the guy for all you know. Maybe Saif knows, okay, this is Ashok, and we had a problem and he's come to stab me. It could be anything. So we can just this is the time where we can actually throw arrows in the sky without any any aim. But yeah, this is a security lapse, as I said earlier, and we need to hear Saif out. What's the good thing that I hear about Saif, that he's out of danger. Like Mr. Sharma was saying that in 10 years and this and that. So that is like it's hard to even hear that for Saif. But I'm sure if he was not out of danger, and if the statements weren't
Dr.
out,
Sharma, how soon
danger,
could that statement be recorded now? How soon could he be medically cleared after a surgery normally to give a statement?
The people who've given the news that he's
I think we've lost Dr. Sharma. Yes, Puneet, please go ahead.
Anesthesia, he would be under the influence of anesthesia, I think, for some time.
Yeah, so we really need to tighten the security.
Spinal surgery is always accompanied by general anesthesia.
Exactly, but then they wouldn't, Dhananjay, then they would never said he's out of danger. If there's a spinal injury, they would have made a point out in the media, what's going out to the public, or he's out of danger, but he's got a spinal injury, or he won't be able to get up. So the news is out that he's out of danger. I think he must be having lots of guests coming over, family coming over, checking on how he is. Now we need to get to business, and we need to find out who he was. We need to ask Saif. The police needs to ask Saif, do you know that guy? Was it a fight with the maid? I hear that he was trying to enter Saif's son's house, and So this guy knows the map around. It's very, very obvious that he knows the map around. His. It's not that he was going to some other house and he went to Steph's house. It was what I feel, what I think, been thinking about the
Yes.
incident. It was a focus on Steph's house and go in there and stab him, man. That's too much.
Okay.
He's actually
Okay.
it's attempt to murder.
Absolutely.
He's
So it is a very, very serious incident. It's a serious crime. Saif Ali Khan has got lucky. It could have been far worse. And at the end of the day, of course, he continues to be in hospital. But the good news is he's out of danger. The Mumbai police say they are very close to nabbing the accused. We'll be tracking this story very closely. For the time being, my thanks to our guests for joining us. Slipping into a short break.